So first of all, before I forget, there is one announcement. Tomorrow, 3:45 to 4:15, you will be having a mock test on SACP. So you can inform in your class group. Everyone should attend this. If there is anyone who is not able to attend or something, he or she has to inform beforehand itself. So we are conducting a mock test tomorrow at 3:45 to 4:15 in AUMS. We'll let you know tomorrow by 3:40. I'll create a meeting. Okay. So this is a mock test for your midterm exam. So keep it in your class group. Yeah, keep it in your class group. Everyone should attend this. Yeah. So last class we have started with this hierarchy of data. We have seen the box pointer representation, the sequence of cons, which is indirectly called to be as list. So list will be having the built-in nil, whereas cons, if you are using cons, you have to explicitly write the nil. And we have seen how the output representation, how the outputs are getting, how it is, how we are representing the outputs. It is cons, how it is. When it is list, how it is. And though if you write your data by using cons, how indirectly if it becomes to be as a list. So yeah, so we have discussed till here in last class. We have seen the outputs for the variables x, y, and z, right? And we have written the output also for each of the cases by drawing the box pointer representation. Okay. So keeping these variables x, y, and z, we are taking it forward. So first, with respect to variable z, okay. So variable z, which is nothing but, which is cons of 3, cons of 6, and nil. This one. Let it be here so that it will be a reference for us. Okay. So now by using these variables, so first we have defined all these variables by using cons. So x is defined to be as cons 3 list 7, 8, 9. Y is defined to be as list 3 cons 7, 8, and 9. Z, which is defined to be as cons 3, cons 6, and nil, and closing of all the parentheses. So now car of Z, when we say what will be the content, what you will be having, car of Z means so if you remember, we have drawn the box pointer representation, something like this for Z.
No,
It will be 3, right? So the first content was 3. Second box, which was again another cons. With second content with 6 and nil, right? So car of Z, when we say, which is nothing but the first part of, so from the beginning, so this pointer which points, which says that, which is the beginning of our box pointer. So from this entire content, the first part. So when you see the first part of it, so which one you will be having? The first part is this part. So which is going to return a single data. So it will be nothing but it will be 3. Coming to the CDR part. So you're here right now, you're in this particular box, right? Z means, which is nothing but right now Z is pointing to the starting address location. So now you are saying CDR. So CDR means remaining part of the contents. So what is the remaining part of the contents? So that means this part. So where this pointer is pointing to. So what is this pointing to? It is pointing to another box. So it is pointing to an other box. The second part of it is pointing to other box. So whenever we say it's an other box means which is nothing but it's a cons, or it could be a list. So now if you see here, which is nothing but cons of 6 and nil. So this is the other part of it. So it is going to return this part of it. So how the output would be? So CDR of Z means, will you get value 6 or will it be a list 6?
A list 6.
It will be list 6. Why? Because it is pointing to another box itself. So entire thing should come. So it will be list 6. So 6 followed by nil. Now if I apply again car of CDR of Z. So car of CDR of Z. So first of all, which one will be executed? The innermost parenthesis will be the one which is going to be executed. So it is nothing but CDR of Z will be first executed. So when I say CDR of Z, which is nothing but this is the one. Now if I apply car onto this, now what happens? So now you are currently in this box. From this, if I apply car, you will be getting the first part of this part, this box. So what is the first portion of this box? Which is 6. So you will be getting the value 6, the data 6. Okay. So similarly, if I take the fourth case, that is CDR of Z. So first one which is going to be executed will be the innermost parenthesis one. So what is there in the innermost parenthesis? It is CDR of Z. So CDR of Z means you will be reaching to the second box. So from the second box, that means this part, the ticked one. So once you reach to this one, what is the CDR portion of it? So when you see the CDR portion of this, the second part of it, it is nothing but it is a nil, crossed one. So it will be nothing but it will be just an empty box. So nil, an empty one, an empty list. Right? Okay, clear, right? So let's move on. Now with respect to variable x. So what is our variable x? If you see the variable x, if you remember the box pointer representation, what we have drawn, it will be nothing but, so first cons. So starting pointer, which will be pointing to, first content is cons of 3. So which is nothing but 3. The second part is again pointing to list of 7, 8, 9. So when I say list, if we rewrite it, it will be nothing but cons of 7, cons of 8, cons of 9 and nil. So it will be, I can write it to be in this way. So 7, next content, which will be 8. So this you can tell, right? What will be the CDR and what will be the car of it. This box pointer, I'm just drawing it so that it will be comfortable for you to understand, clearly visualize it. Yeah. So now car of x. So what is where is our x? Our x is nothing but our x is here. This it is pointing to the first box. So what it is, car of x, the first part of it. So what is the first part of it? What will be the value? What it returns? The first
3.
part, it will be 3. Coming to the CDR of x. So x is this one. So CDR, the second part of it. So this pointer. So this pointer is pointing to this entire portion will come into picture. So what is this entire portion? It is again so many boxes which ends with a nil. So your your output representation for this CDR of X will be nothing but it is a list. So it will be nothing but 7 space 8 space 9 and nil. So since you have a nil, there is no dot in between. So it will be list of 7, 8, 9. So from here, the remaining part of your contents. So what are the remaining part of your contents? Which is 7, 8 and 9, which ends with a nil. So your output will be nothing but list of 7, 8, 9. Now further moving on to car of CDR of X. So car of CDR of X means innermost parenthesis which we are having is CDR of X. So when I say CDR of X, it is nothing but this portion, this entire thing. So from this entire thing, I have to find out the X, car of X. So car of it. So what is the car of it? Now you are here. So from this part, what is the car of it? Car of it will be value 7. Now if I again apply CDR for that, it will be nothing but the remaining portion of it. So remaining portion of it means it will be again sequence of cons. So which ends with a nil. So it will be nothing but it will be returning a list again. So your output will be 8 list 8 9 space 9 followed by nil. So when you wanted to extract the data, so you have to extract the data by using your car and CDR. So you have to decide whether you wanted that the particular data or whether you wanted a particular list, the remaining portion, how you want it. Based on that, you can apply this car and CDR.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yeah.
so here we have written nesting of car and CDR just for convenience, ma'am. Like we have CADR also, no? Like which
Yeah. If we can rewrite this once again. Increase the volume. Yeah. So if instead of writing like this, car of CDR, we can even write it in the short form CADR. So which is nothing but indirectly I'm saying that it is car of CDR of variable X for this one. So short form is this car of CDR. So even though I write a CADR, it means that it is car of CDR of X. So first one which is going to be executed will be CDR and then the outer one which is car. Similarly for the last one, when we write, it can be written to be as C. These are short forms. So CDDR. So when we expand it, it will be nothing but CDR of X. So first, the innermost one, that is this portion will be executed. That's result will be given to this. So and then this will be executed. So I have written in the next one. So variable y. So variable y, which is nothing but list of 3, cons of 7, 8 and 9. So now tell for this one. So variable y means yeah.
car of Y.
Car of y means it will be nothing but list 3, cons 7, 8 and 9. Yeah. So car of y means give me the output for these variables, these
3, ma'am.
It will be 3. Coming to CDR, CDR of y
7 and 8.
7,
7, 8, 9, like in brackets, ma'am. 7 and 8 will be.
7 and 8 will be in brackets.
Dot will come, ma'am.
Dot will come. Why dot should come?
That is a cons, closing cons, 7.8. Won't it come? Inside one.
Is this correct? I mean dot. Yeah. Is this correct?
Ma'am.
All of you agree?
Oh, no, I think so.
Correct, ma'am.
This is correct because
1 minute.
yeah, this is correct only. It is like first content is value 3. Next, second content of the list is nothing but cons of 7, 8. So from one box, you are getting the first content 7 and the second content 8. So since it is cons, you will be having a dot part. Coming to the next one, CADR. CADR, which is nothing but car of CDR of Y.
7, 8. No, ma'am. 7, 8.
8 brackets. What about brackets?
Oh, brackets should come. I think so. 7.8. Yes, ma'am. Brackets will come, ma'am. It's basically counts of 7 and 8. So brackets will come.
Yes, it is cons of 7, 8. When we are applying car for, see, you can see from this portion itself. From this list, when I say car, the first part of it should come out. So what is the first part? It is cons of 7 and 8. So it will be nothing but, so a list 7.8. Now from this one, I am applying again CDR of Y. From this one, the ticked one, CDR of Y is already ticked. We have found out. Now we have to apply CDR once again to it. What you will get? If we apply CDR for this one,
Ma'am, a list 9, ma'am.
it will be list 9. Why list 9? Why not a single value 9?
Ma'am, because it's going to a new box from 7 to 8. 7,
Yes.
8, next new box.
Yes, it's going to a new box. That is a box when we say it is nothing but cons. So cons of 9 and nil it is. So we are having 9 and nil together. I mean nil in that particular box. So it is nothing but list 9. Now once again we are applying CAADR. So that means from this part. Car of CDR of Y.
7, ma'am.
It will be 7. CDR of car of CDR of Y.
8.
8, ma'am.
8. So now if I wanted value 9, how do I write? If I have to extract only 9.
CADDR.
So it will be CADDR. So we can write it like this, or car of CDR of. When you are writing in the expanded form, you have to be careful with respect to the parenthesis. Okay. So let us move on with the procedures. So list operations. So let's start writing the procedures where we are going to apply these list contents. So one thing is when you want some data where you have a sequence of like array elements. 1 minute. If you have any array operations to be done, then we can go ahead with this list operation. So when we are dealing with this list programming, how we have to deal with it. So when you are writing in C program and all, we know like with respect to the size, we can identify what is the size of it or what is the length of your array elements, and accordingly you can run your you can run your loop for those many number of times. But whereas with this list, how do you do? We have the last content. That is, whenever we say it is a list, By default, we are going to have a nil attached with it so that we can identify how many contents we have in it. So keeping that, first thing is finding how many number of elements you are having in this procedure. So as you see, it is like finding the length of your array elements. So here, whenever we say it's a list, I think you remember when you were doing in your C programming or in CTPS, we have discussed about what is the difference between the array and list. Remember? It's a simple difference. Both are going to store the same continuous elements in a continuous format. In the one after the other locations, each value will be stored. For both the things that remain same, but only difference is when you take up the array indexing starts with 0, whereas your list indexing will start from 1. That is the only difference. So if when you go for finding the length of your list, the number of arguments which we have is only one single argument, which is nothing but the list elements. So the name of the procedure written is length, and then followed by the argument. Here we require only one single argument, which is li. I am expecting a list to be as passed as an whenever we are calling length, we are just expecting the list to be passed. So what should be the stopping condition? So stopping condition should be null. So this null procedure, which is the primitive procedure. So this procedure will identify the last element in the list, which is nothing but the nil, whatever you are saying. Whatever we have mentioned it to be as nil, or we can even represent this nil to be as in this format, empty list. Either of these two we can write either by using the keyword nil, or by representing it in this format also we can represent the empty list. So this null procedure will identify, it's a primitive procedure, it will identify whether the list has reached an empty list or not. If you have reached the empty list, what we have to return? We can just return the value to be as 0. If it is not, then keep adding it. Just increment each time, you just keep incrementing +1 you can keep incrementing it. And each time you keep incrementing, what is the other thing which we have to do? We have to keep reducing the length of that is the contents of our list. So how do we keep reducing the contents of our list? For that, we make use of the selector CDR. So I'm calling the same length procedure. Each time I keep reducing the list contents so that at one point of time it reaches to nil. And then closing all the parentheses. So just took one example. If I'm calling the procedure length by having the elements list 1, 3, 5 and 7, which is nothing but I'm expecting the odd elements. So 1, 3, 5, 7. So just list it. So first time when I'm calling, it will be length of with this list elements 1, 3, 5, 7. After that, first time it identifies whether it is null. It is not null. So it comes to the else part. That is the false expression part. What is my false expression? +1. So here it will add +1 along with the length procedure getting called with reduced number. So when I say CDR of list, what will be my list updated? My list will be updated with these values, which is 3, 5 and 7. Now I can no more access this value 1. So once again I iterate, it will be checking whether it is null. That is 3, 5, 7. Is it null? No. So once again it will be coming to the false part where I'm adding +1 to it again, with again calling the length procedure by reducing the list contents. So now when I have currently I have 3, 5, 7. So from this when I reduce it, it will be nothing but 5 and 7 will be the contents which will be there in the list. So li will be updated with list of 5, 7. So again, it checks whether it is null. No. So again, it comes to the else part where it will add +1 to it. With length procedure getting called with reduced contents. So when I say reduced contents, which will be nothing but it will be list 7. So again, it calls, it checks whether it is an empty list. No. So again, it will add +1 to it. Now when I say CDR, it will be just returning the empty box. So that means the empty list. So when it is returning the empty list, what happens now at this point of time, the null procedure will be satisfied and it returns the value to be as 0. So in place of this empty list, it will now it is just going to return the value 0. So once you get the value 0, it starts adding. So 0 plus 1, 1. So it will return the contents over here. So you will have value 1 here. So 1 plus 1, you will get the value 2 here. So 1 plus 2, you will get the value 3. So 3 plus 1, which will be 4. So like this, your final output value 4 will be updated. So whenever you are dealing with the list procedures, that is whenever you are writing the procedure, you have to just remember. So list, it is going to have the inbuilt nil. So first, as a stopping criteria, we can just go with the primitive procedure null. And each time you have to reduce the contents. So how do we reduce the contents? Just by calling the CDR part. Because we here, as per this procedure, we don't want the contents, what exactly the value, the data, what you have in this list. You just wanted to know just the length of your list elements. So keeping that in mind, just define the procedure in this way so that it returns the value 4. What type of process is this? Just to recap, what type of process this procedure is going to generate?
Recursive only, ma'am. Linear recursive.
It is linear recursive process. This procedure is going to give linear recursive process, generate linear recursive process. The same thing if we write it in the iterative fashion, it will be the same length. We call another procedure, named it to be as sublength. So when I'm using the sublength procedure, the variable, I use two variables, a and count. A is nothing but it is my list. Count is just to maintain how many number of values I have. So each time I keep calling the sublength procedure, I keep incrementing the count. So here also the stopping condition will be nothing but to encounter the nil. So how do I identify the nil? It is just by using the primitive procedure null. So null followed by the question mark. So if that condition is satisfied, I will just return the count. If it is not satisfied, I will just call the sublength procedure. Each time I keep reducing the length of the list. So for that I keep calling the CDR. So CDR of A. Along with this, keep incrementing the count. So this is the definition for sublength procedure. Before I close the length procedure, I have to call the sublength procedure. So when I'm calling the sublength procedure, what are the values what I have to pass is whatever is my alive contents. So that will be passed to the variable A. Along with this, I'm initializing the count to be as 0. And then closing this length procedure. So sublength procedure can be accessed only from this length procedure. Now, if I call this length procedure with the same odd elements, that is 1, 3, 5, and 7. Now, how it works is, so this is my list contents 1, 3, 5, and 7. The count initially it is 0. So first time when we call, it will be 1, 3, 5, 7. It is not an empty list, so it comes to the else part. In the else part, when we are calling again the sublength procedure, the CDR of A is getting called. So when I say CDR of A, it will be nothing but it will be only 3, 5, and 7. You will be neglecting the value 1. And along with this, the count will be incremented to 1. So count variable is 0 plus 1. It will be 1 now. Again, it checks whether it is an empty list. No. It comes to the else part. Again, you are calling the sublink procedure with the updated value to be as CDR of the list contents. So what is my CDR of this? It will be just 57. And then incrementing the count. So it will be 2 now. Now again, the procedure got called with the value of list contents with 5 and 7. It is not an empty list. So again, it comes to the else part where sublink procedure is getting called with new updated value. List content will be nothing but now 7, list 7, and the count is incremented to 3. Next, it verifies whether it is an empty list. No. So it comes to the else part with sublink procedure getting called with the CDR of it. Now when I apply CDR, it will be nothing but it will be the empty list. So already we have traversed the contents 1, 3, 5, 7, but we haven't taken these. We don't require these values, exact values as such. So just keep removing it. So how we could remove is by using this selector CDR. So now we have reached to the empty list and the count is getting updated to be 4. Now when I call the sublength procedure, it is an empty list. So null condition will be satisfied. It just returns the whatever is my count. So it will be just returned. So it returns the value 4 as such. So the procedure, whatever we have defined here, it is just going to return, it is just going to produce linear iterative process. Okay. So moving on to the next one. Next one, it is if you want to retrieve, if you just mention the position value and if you want to return the value at that particular position, how do you write the procedure? Can you try writing the procedure for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Here there are two
Basic
things.
idea we can tell right now, ma'am.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can just go to the nth element by performing CDR, and then maintaining the count of it. And then once we reach a particular count, we can just return the CAR of the list.
Yes, you can. This is the basic idea of it. Along with this, now the point is whether you wanted the list elements starting with the index value 0 or starting with the index value 1. So now you can decide it here. So if you consider the index value is starting from 0 onwards, then the condition what you're going to compare, it should vary. If you are assuming that the index value will be starting from 1 onwards, then there will be a variation. So that is the only thing which you have to just take note. Here I just wrote the procedure keeping a point like it should work like an array, because you are comfortable with the array concept. That is the index value starting with 0 onwards. So keeping that in mind, I just wrote the procedure. So here the procedure name mentioned as list reference, where we are having two arguments. One is list content and the other one is what is the position, which value at what position content you want to return. The value at which position value you want to return. So that is what is my n. Li is my list. So keeping the array starting index to be as 0, I just given the condition to be as if my n, that is the position, reaches to 0, return the content. As Priya said, return that particular content. So since it is a list, I wanted that particular content at that particular location. So I have to just write car of list. If not, I keep calling the list procedure. Each time I keep reducing the list content, list elements, because till that position I don't require any of the contents. So I keep reducing the list content. So CDR of Li. And each time I keep reducing the n value. Once my n value reaches 0, I will just return the value. So just took one example where define squares. So I have defined a procedure variable square which is having the value list 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. Okay, so I have 5 elements, 5 contents which are nothing but these are squares of each number. So I just gave the name to be as the variable name to be as squares. And this squares is passed to this list procedure. And what position value I require is 3. Okay. So this is my list. So first time when I'm calling this 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 is the one which is being passed. It verifies whether my position, that is 3, is 0. No. So it comes to the else part. So again, I'm calling the list procedure, that is list reference, where I'm reducing the list. So it is CDR. So reducing the list, so it will be 4, 9, 16, 25 will be the contents which you will be having in the Li. Along with this, my n value is being reduced. So it becomes, I did write the n value. So each time, so first time the n value, it was 3. Next time, it is 2. Now when I reach the n value, so 9, 16, 25 is the content what is being passed. So now my n value is 1. N is reduced. 2 minus 1, so 1. Now again it checks whether it is 0. No. So it again calls the procedure where my list will be nothing but 16 and 25. Along with this, my list content will be reduced, the n value will be reduced to 0. Now it checks whether it is n is 0. Yes. So it will just return. So it will just, so this is my list, current list, what I have passed. So from this, what is the car? From this list, what is my car? So my car of my list is nothing but it is 16. So the value 16 will be returned from this part. So the fourth content, which is the value 16. So here my assumption was my starting index value is 0, 1, 2 and 3. Keeping this assumption, I have written. If you say, no, I just wanted to go in the list format itself. I just wanted the list starting index value to be in the same list pattern. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Fine. Only one modification you can do is you can make this to be as 1. If that was the case, you will be returning the value to be as 9. Okay. As per Priya, she had one more variable where she will keep incrementing that starting from 0 onwards till it reaches the n value. That is also fine. Any of the 3 ways you can define it. The main highlight is here we don't require null condition because we are not traversing till the end of the elements. But CDR is the one which is required. Okay. Now moving on to the next procedure, appending the list. So appending the list means which is nothing but we have 2 lists. So naming it to be as list 1 and list 2. So my list 1 is having the contents 1, 2, 3, 4. My list 2 is having the contents 5, 6, 7. So whenever I say I have to append list 1 with list 2, I'm expecting the output to be as 1, 2, 3, 4. After this 4, the list 2 contents should be appended to my list 1. So 5, 6, 7 should be attached to it. How do we define it?
There is a built-in function already, no, ma'am.
There is a built-in function, fine, but how do we define it?
Okay.
We should know the logic, right?
Ma'am, we have to traverse till the end of list 1 and from there we have to do a cons and we can take the end of list 1 and the starting of the next list and together we have to make a cons 4 and 5.
Okay. So cons of till the last of list 1 we have to traverse, and then you have to say cons of 4
and the beginning of the next list 5.
How do we pass this beginning of the second list, car of list 2?
If we want to append one list, we have to have two head pointers, no ma'am, for the list.
Yes, ma'am. Since CAR fetches only the first element, we have to keep doing the CAR, I think so, because it won't fetch a list, no, ma'am. It will just fetch the data like 5. So we need to keep doing and adding all 5, 6, 7, no, ma'am. If we had like we can also do like CDR of list 2 and first add 5 separately and then probably then CDR of list 2 separately, no, ma'am?
Okay. So, let's start doing it. So first I have defined the procedure append. Only two arguments are required because list 1 and list 2. Only two list I am going to append. So list 1 and list 2. Okay. Now what should be the condition? Based on whatever you have said, what should be the condition?
Till it reaches the end of list 1 is what? First we need to traverse till
Okay.
that. Then we can have another.
Okay, so we have many conditions as per what you are saying, Priya, right? So first condition is till we traverse till the last of list 1. So null of list 1. That is our first condition. If that condition is satisfied, what is the one what I have to return or do?
What we can do is when we reach the nil, that condition satisfies, we can do CA of the second list and we'll add the first element of the second list and then we'll do CDR of the second list.
Car of second list, CDR of.
Actually, ma'am, if we do like, if we only do like, if we, sorry, what I was telling is, after reaching the four, suppose we are reaching 4, no, ma'am. If we are doing cons of first the 5, like, what is it? CAR of list 2 and then CDR of list 2. That will just give us 4, 5, 6, 7, no, ma'am. We need to keep track of 1, 2, 3 also. So, yeah, so that I think.
So what we have to do, we can't, in this case, in the previous examples, whatever we have done, we didn't wanted the values, but in this case, we have to keep track of the values, whatever you had in the list 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 has to be kept along with us. We can't.
Yes, so we need to do cons repeatedly from the first element, no, ma'am. I can only think of that possibility.
Yes, we have to have cons. Yes. So whenever you are saying, first we are identifying list, one has to reach the empty list till that is null of list 1. If that condition is not satisfied, you have to keep tracking the contents. So cons of car of list 1 should be kept along with it. If that along with this, again you will be calling the same procedure with the remaining. I think it's time up, right? We'll continue with the set pen procedure in the next class then.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Don't forget tomorrow.
SCP,
Yeah.
half an hour, like, is the window, ma'am? Yeah, that only, no, ma'am.
Yeah. The last
Exam will be, mock test will be of 15 minutes itself.
mock test will be for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, tomorrow 3:30, 3:45 we start. So 3. Yeah, that time I'll let you know what
Okay.
how it is, how much time it is.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay,
So
ma'am.
plan for 3:45 to 4:15, half an hour time. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
schedule the meeting now itself. So inform all your classmates. Everyone should attend this. Okay.
What, ma'am?
Okay,
Mock
ma'am.
test.
Thank you.
You are having a mock test tomorrow from 3:45 to 4:15.
Mock test for mid, ma'am? Or what?
For midterm.
Okay.
Keep it in your class group. Everyone should attend this.